It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazawey. Let's talk some sports.
And here we go, Tuesday, February 28th, the final day of the month of February. Are we turning the calendar to March? My goodness, that means spring is right around the corner. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey. Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
The gang is all here first time in about 2 weeks. Ryan Ermanni, I know I missed yesterday. Tell me about your trip to Florida, brother.
Oh, man, it was great. I won't bore everybody with it.
Give me the quick deets.
Sunshine and swimming pools.
That's all that matters.
Relaxation.
Damn, that sounds
How about
good
the hot tub?
Hot tub.
You didn't have a hot tub?
Yeah, we did have a hot tub.
Where the kids sleep?
It was hot. Oh, man, the kids get to sleep in that sunshine. Real good. Yeah, but it was great, man. It was great. How about you? What's going on over there with you? You weren't here yesterday.
Turned 40 this past week. Maz and I were doing a great week last week, having fun, and my mom surprised me with my sister and did a birthday brunch on Saturday. So I had some friends fly in from out of town that I didn't know were coming.
Nice.
So a lot of love, man, made me feel real good, and I was at the house, sitting on my duffel bag, my luggage, sitting there talking, having a conversation, and then it collapsed. And when it collapsed, my knee buckled.
Ooh.
So you talking about being 40. Guess what? I welcome 40 with a partially torn meniscus. It's all good, though.
Oh, man, you going to get that thing surgically repaired?
For what? I ain't catching passes no more. No.
Not going to try out for the XFL or the USFL?
I don't even have to try it for USFL. I could probably be third receiver right now with the partially torn meniscus.
Oh, my God.
Nah, but it was a good weekend, though. My mom,
man.
I love you, Mom. Jay, thank you so much. It was a lot of love. And just, I think as people, sometimes you just want love. You want people to show you what you mean. So it was freaking awesome, man. I'm ready. 40,
good, man.
40 down, 40 plus to go.
That's right. You're still closer to 30 than you are to 60. That's what I said.
I look okay, brother. I look okay. Oh, by the way, Maz, I got something for you.
Oh.
What do you got there?
He got his chain. Last week, 2 weeks ago, my friend, Mike Allway, who is all over, he loves Woodward Sports, and he's all over the internet. He gets on, he sends me this Facebook post, and it's this jeweler in New York City. She's this
Shout out to Trip by Jersey.
Yeah, she's this highfalutin influencer jeweler. And on this little video, and you see people going in and buying big stuff from her, nice, fun stuff. And at the end of the video, she's on the phone, and she's like, oh, yeah, Braylon Edwards wants blah, 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 blah. Braylon Edwards got himself a nice piece of jewelry.
Two things. Thing one, I was right there when I was on the phone with her. It was like right before our show one day. And thing two, although I'm not probably supposed to say this, it's the best discount you can ever have. It's the free 99.
Oh, look at that.
Free
How about
99.
that? My
Yes,
goodness.
I'm officially 40.
Look at that.
And I'm
Isn't that
ready
cool?
to talk. And I'm ready to talk some
Well,
sports.
what's the necklace represent? What is?
Jesus.
Okay, 'cause I can't see it from here.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Black Jesus.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It was dope.
Happy birthday, man.
Looks great, man.
Appreciate that.
Glad you
Good
had
to
a
treat
great.
yourself once in a while.
Yeah, good to treat yourself once in a while to some free stuff.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's over though, man. I'm ready for March.
Right. You got to get back to reality here.
True.
And get back into the fold. All right, Braylon, we got a big show for you today. Dave Birkett coming up in about 25 minutes from now. Detroit Free Press. We'll talk to Dave. Lots of Lions news going on this year. Mel Kiper had a mock draft as well. So our number one going to be completely exclusively Lions in NFL, and that's where we will start. Braylon, I want to get your take on this because news came out today from Dave Birkett that we've talked about this uniform situation for a long time now. There's been teases and hints of the Lions getting new uniforms. Tom Mazawey, you had pointed out that they're going to save this for the NFL draft, and it was revealed in the Free Press today that they are going to save this for 2024, essentially. The Lions will have an interesting overhaul. That's a quote-unquote. They're an interesting overhaul. Dave Birkett got some quotes and spoke to Lions president Rod Wood about that, and he's really the guy in charge of this. So the uniforms won't come until 2024, but next year, 2023, we will see an alternate helmet. So we can play with that in just 1 second. But first off, Braylon, your take on the uniform situation. Are you disappointed it's not coming in 23, or are you happy about it?
Actually, you know what, Brian? I called this, if you remember, before the season. No, Maz, tell me I'm wrong. Because we were talking about, because you always love the topic of uniforms for Detroit Lions, whether it's helmets, whether it's the different colors, etc. I was like, they're not going to do new uniforms this year, Ryan. I said, they're going to wait till 2024 when they get the draft. They're going to, slowly but surely. You got Hard Knocks this year. Then your 2024 is going to be a big year. But I think it's dope. Like, I think you want to roll off the carpet, man, and show who your new self, especially on the biggest stage. And one of the biggest stages for the NFL is the NFL draft that will be here. And you're unveiling new uniform. They're going to make a great production of it. And if they get it right, this could be really special, Ryan. You've hit on it so many times. You look at the teams that changed their uniforms, and then look at the success that they had after that. Whether it was the Patriots, whether it was the Broncos, whether it was the Falcons, etc. You changed the Buccaneers, 100%. You changed
Seahawks.
Oh my God, you're absolutely right. You change your uniforms, it changes the identity. I think it'd be a good thing for them. You getting teary-eyed over there?
I did think they would. They
better leave Leaping alone.
With Hard Knocks in 22, I thought they would do the uniforms in 23 and then the draft in 24. I didn't think they'd bunch up draft. I mean, not that it matters.
They're going to bunch up uniform, draft, and Super Bowl in 2024.
Oh, I see Matt's been sneaky.
Everything is pointing to 2024.
Correct.
I think
doesn't it just seem like everything is going the right way for the Lions? I mean, everything is falling into place. Everything. This next draft is huge,
Which
man.
doesn't it scare the living daylights out of you, though?
Not really. I'm not scared anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not. I am not. I am so excited to be a Lions fan now.
I'm so excited to be a Lions fan. I don't want to bury the lead, but I'm so excited to be a Lions fan right now. For the first time in my life, I'm going to be a season ticket holder.
Congratulations.
Yesterday, I put down a deposit for season tickets for the Detroit Lions.
Where are you sitting?
I don't know. We don't know yet.
How many seats?
4 seats.
4.
Look at you.
Put a deposit down for 4 seats.
How much was that deposit, if you don't mind sharing?
$100 a seat.
Okay.
$100 a seat, and the pricing isn't out yet. They sent me the pricing from last year just to have a basis, and they did say there will be an increase this year, but whether it's a couple of, we don't know. I don't even want to talk about the prices of Lions tickets yet.
You got an extra arm and leg.
Well, I just don't want to mislead the
you can
listeners.
guarantee they're one of the cheaper NFL seats.
Yeah,
still.
at least middle of the road.
They're middle to low,
and they're not going to jump up drastically.
No.
Will they jump up? Sure, everything goes up. Rarely does something come down.
Parking was $65 last year.
If the product is better, though, if you are competing and you have a chance to win every single game on your schedule, which I think the Lions do have a chance to win every single game on the schedule, well, you get what you pay for. Now, when you're 5-12 or 5-11, or before they played 17 games.
Yeah.
Before they played 17 games, the Lions sucked and are 3-13 and this, that, and the other thing, and then you're raising tickets. I'm against that. But when you've won 8 of the last 10, and I can understand it if there's a rate increase, but that's how high I am on the Lions this year, enough to put my money where my mouth is. But Braylon, again, everything does seem to be this really steady incline to where in 23 you'll compete for and win a division championship, and then in 24 you'll compete and perhaps compete for an NFC championship and a Super Bowl championship. It's very rare where there isn't some zigs and zags along the way.
I definitely hear you right now, and that's why I'm glad, Ryan and Maz, that I'm not a full-on diehard from birth Detroit Lions fan. The reason why I say that is this. Ryan, you're absolutely correct. Right now is the highest that Detroit Lions fans have ever been. You guys have ever been as a Detroit Lions fan, if I'm being honest. You talk about all the time. Not since, 89 in terms of...
I thought
in terms
88.
of the draft. Okay, sorry, 88. right?
Year before Barry, where they pulled 4 starters out of that draft.
You guys are so high right now. What if the Lions regress this year somehow and go 7-10? What if the next year they go blah, blah, blah? That's the nervousness you're talking about, the scariness you're talking about. You're right to be scared because it's a real thing. Like, I feel like this would crush the Detroit fan base forever if they were to regress backwards this season and next. It would crush you guys for good.
See, I'm not scared of a natural regression to 7-10 where everybody's healthy. I'm worried about a natural regression where, something does happen to Jared Goff, or exactly, knock on wood, 1,000,000 times over, and you don't really have a plan for it, or something happens. I'm not even going to put that out there in the universe. Right. What I'm saying is, I don't think if everybody's healthy, there will be a regression. I think there will be an ascension, and I think that straight line goes up even further than it already is. But last year they were as healthy, I think. Now they had Swift.
The second half of the season they were healthy.
Yeah, I mean you had
not the first half.
But
and
again,
when they got healthy,
look
82.
at that offensive line. It was Sewell, it was Ragnow, it was Decker. You can interchange those 2 guard spots, which they did with Evan Brown and Dan Skipper. And
Ragnow had a bad toe all year.
Fine. And Taylor Decker played with like a fallen off shoulder or torn knee or whatever he did, but he played. I just don't know if you can count on that kind of health year in and year out. And when I say I'm scared of any part of regression, that's what I'm talking about, because they were pretty healthy last year for the most part.
Yeah, they were very healthy towards the second half of the season, and like Maz pointed out, when they were healthy, that's when you see 8 out of 10, the last 10 games, they won 8 of those because they were healthy. Guys start coming back. Even DeAndre Swift, this guy that's not available, but even DeAndre Swift in that last, because the Lions got smart. And you talked about this. They said, you know what? We're not going to run him 20 times a game and throw him 7 passes. We're going to run him
half.
11 times a game and throw them 4 passes. So you're absolutely right. They were healthy and they got to 9-8 and looked damn good when they played against the Green Bay Packers. So, yeah, man, they stay healthy again with everything that's going on right now, and they're moving pieces. You see the Brocker situation, like, you're right, but with the exception of the Kansas City Chiefs, they can't win every game.
They're not going backwards. Yeah. They're not. I saw the team. It ain't a mirage. I know what they have. They're going to add to it now with all these draft picks, and the free agent class this year I think is outstanding. Be smart, and let's win a playoff game.
Maz, you were the only one. Ryan jumped off the ship after game 4 or 5 last year, maybe 5. You stayed in there for a minute. Game 5, he jumped off the ship. I never was on the ship. You said, no, I see it, Bray. I see it. I got to give you credit. You stayed on the whole time.
Thank you.
Guys, news regarding the Germany game against the Kansas City Chiefs. Plus, we're going to give you some ideas for Lions alternate helmets. I want to get you guys involved, and I want you to tell me which one you would like to see the Lions have as an alternate helmet. They will have one in 2023. We'll show you some options that we found online. Just a fun segment. Plus, Dave Birkett in 15 minutes. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts, have been for over 90 years. When you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house, tells the bad guys one thing:
stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, customized solutions from real experts, 24/7 professional monitoring, and technology backed by people. Call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
That number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Hey everybody, the Seafood Fest is back at Big Boy Catch It while you can. How about this? Some of your favorites during the Lenten season, the shrimp Alfredo, the shrimp stir fry, and the brand new fish sandwich. Make sure you get to your local Big Boy today, and especially don't forget that all you can eat fish fry buffet on Friday nights, only at Big Boy.
For all of you watching on our website, you may have noticed the facelift, woodwardsports.com. Check out the latest scores around sports, fresh articles, and of course, the home to watch all of our live shows. Lots of awesome additions and updates are also coming soon. Check it out, woodwardsports.com. Also, if you are audio only, maybe you're listening to us when you want, podcast form, Apple, iTunes, go ahead and subscribe to the Ermanni and Edwards with Maz podcast show, however you want to characterize it. Give us a 5-star review. We'd certainly appreciate that.
Yes, we do.
However you are consuming Fox or Woodward Sports.
Oh, look at that.
If it's on fox2detroit.com, hello to you. There you go. Got them all in there, guys.
We can say that.
Or at least a few of them. So Dave Birkett had in the news today, as well in the Free Press, I should say, in the Detroit Free Press today, news regarding the Germany game. We have heard about the Lions and Chiefs potentially playing a game in Germany this year. Lions president Rod Wood has made it known that the organization would be just fine playing the Kansas City Chiefs in Germany this fall, and he said the chances of that happening are at least 50-50. That's a quote from Dave Birkett today in the Free Press regarding the news of the Germany game. Now, that would be a home game for the Kansas City Chiefs. What do you think about playing abroad next year?
You know what? If we got to play the Kansas City Chiefs, I would rather play them abroad. And the reason why I say that, if you're talking about playing those guys, this is home field for the Kansas City Chiefs. Imagine playing the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead. Like, the Detroit Lions are definitely doing their thing. They're moving the right way. The trajectory is on point. But they're still not ready for the Kansas Chiefs just yet. So I feel like if you play them out the country, neutral site, like, I feel like anything can and will happen. So I think it'd be good for the Detroit Lions. Like, this is a place where you can sneak a win. And it to be a huge win to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, who've probably been the best team in the NFL for about the past 7 years or so.
I will say, Bray, that's one of the reasons why I said there won't be a game that's not winnable on the schedule, because I think a game at Arrowhead is as unwinnable as
true.
It would get on paper. On paper, it would appear unwinnable, but it becomes more winnable when you're kind of on equal footing abroad in Germany.
Hey, last year's Germany game was great. It was the Packers and Giants, went down to the end. Giants got the upset and kind of started the Packers on their
weird field goal
downward
game?
Trend. I forget how it ended.
I think he hit like the crossbar and it went in.
Yeah, you're right.
It was that game.
Yep, it was. And it's fun to see these games. First, I was against them. I was against them. The London games, it starts early, but I kind of grew to like them. The game in Germany, if I remember correctly, that was in the morning as well here. So I'll take it, man. I think it'd be on national TV.
Would that be like a 9 o'clock game?
Yeah, 9 or 10 o'clock. The last time they were on national TV, on international game, was the Atlanta Falcons and the Lions. Remember a few years back in the day? Who was our kicker?
Matt Ryan. What's his name? Prater,
Matt Prater. Yeah, with like a 50-yarder to win it at the end. They came back.
He was automatic.
Falcons had him for a while, and then I remember the Lions beat him. So I'll take it. Why not?
All right, let's see some helmets, okay? Fletch, need your participation with me. You want to stick your mic up? Put it open. Now, we got these online. These are not our designs. We want to give credit to where we got them as well. So let's explain which one are we going to see first here, Fletch?
That's up to you.
Let's see the white one, because the white one is my favorite, I think. This is the one I would like to see as an alternate helmet. Let me see the white one with the white jerseys and the white pants. This is the one I would like to see.
Like the Bengals?
And we got this, like the Bengals, and we got this from Radkey Sports.
I believe that all of these are purchasable from these places. I think the Fanatics one is off of Amazon, but you can buy them with signatures and stuff.
Very good. Just wanted to make it clear that these are not our designs, and that we took them elsewhere. But what do you guys think of the white? How about that for a third helmet?
Shocking, the white one goes first. This is amazing if you get the right jersey. I think this is This could be amazing if you get the right jersey with the right colors and metallic look. If you get that together, it could be amazing or it could be awful.
But I'm saying put it with that all white that we saw on the road this year. The Lions wore all white
Against the
more than a
Packers.
few times.
That was 2 years.
No, well, they might have done it for 2 years, but
that Monday night game against the Packers.
they did it last year a couple of times. White jerseys, white pants.
Yeah.
How about the white helmet like the Bengals did?
I dig it. I like it a lot in the all white.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're going to wear these with their alternate uniforms.
Right.
So when they wear their gray pajamas or they wear their blue pajamas, that helmet I don't like with them. I like this one just with the white uniforms.
But
Yes.
They got to add something to it, though. Like, if I'm being honest, if I'm thinking about the white uniforms, the Green Bay Packers winning that game 2 years ago, and like you said, they wore it a couple of times last year. You add that white helmet to that. It's a lot of white and blue kind of the same. If you're going to do it like that, you got to add something to the pants or the jersey. Like something that sticks out, that's subtle, but that's dope, that kind of sticks out, because that's just too much saying white, blue, white, blue, white, blue. They got to add something like a hint, like a signature piece to it.
All right, let's get another one here. How about the, what do we got to see here next? The blue? You want to see the blue? Here's the blue one. This is from Pass Collectibles. What about the blue there, guys? Blue on blue.
Man,
Metallic.
That gives me like Division II vibes. I'm cool. I'm okay on
That
this
gives
one.
you like Thursday night football vibes,
Boise
doesn't
State.
it? Thursday night football.
Boise State, BYU, like one of those type teams. I'm okay on this.
Well, look what the Bears did. They did
What about
the orange.
the blue color rush jerseys now?
I like it. I like it with the all blue. I mean, the Bears pulled it off with their orange.
Again, that might be the winner right there too. By the way, because if they're all blue, is the third alternate color rush uniform situation. They're going to stick a blue helmet on top of that, are they not?
It's
Probably.
the face mask for me. That face mask is horrible.
Well, they could change
Well,
the
you can
face
change
mask.
the face mask. I thought the blue face mask on my white helmet was horrible too.
I got you. So, the color, it's not even necessarily the color. Obviously, I wore a Dickinson face mask, which is the two bars like this. I'm talking about the actual color of that face. But you're right, you could change it. I don't know, man. I don't want it to be gimmicky. Like, I want them to change their uniforms, but I don't want them to become like a gimmick, if you understand what I mean.
Well, here's the one that I kind of like too. This would be my second favorite of the helmets. I would go white, black, blue. But the reality is, this is from Fanatics. The reality is the Lions do not have black anywhere in their uniform.
They used to.
They used to. And that would be good with the black uniforms.
Right.
But they don't have black uniforms anymore.
So that one's out.
So that one's got to be out.
Yeah.
Although I do like it.
Do you like that with the white unis?
No.
No?
It just doesn't go. I don't think it goes.
Yeah. You're probably right.
It's a nice
I
helmet.
like the
They would
black.
have-
I like the black face mask.
It's 100%. It's a nice helmet. To your point, you would have to change something in the uniform to make it work, though. Because the way the Lions uniforms are designed right now, this doesn't work. Although this is a dope helmet. I like the helmet.
Oh, that helmet's sick.
Yeah, that helmet's sick.
Again, if you put them with the black jerseys of the Joey Harrington, Cliff Averill days,
Roy Williams.
right, Roy Williams.
Roy Williams.
But they just don't have that anymore.
Thank God.
Vanden Bosch.
I did not, I saw a highlight. I don't remember where I saw the highlight from. I don't like those black jerseys. The one thing about
They remind me of like a Walmart jersey.
Well, you just kind of like threw this outline on the Lions jerseys, this black outline that really had nothing to do with the color scheme.
They were trying to distract you from them going 4-12.
Oh, and 16.
Exactly.
Right. So which one did you guys like the best? The whites, the blues, or the blacks? If you had to put a helmet on today, they're going to have an alternate helmet in 2023. Which one would it be? I think it would be the blue, but I like the white on whites better
Now,
than
here's
the
the
blue
kicker
on
to
blues.
this. Rod Wood went on to say the NFL allows you to change your logo, but only if you want to change it, it's got to be a logo that you wore at one time. So it could be the two bars that Mr. Ford loves with the straight, skinny line going through it.
Yeah.
Or you could have, they already have the logo-less helmet. They're going to keep that, just the all-silver helmet.
Right.
That's usually their Thanksgiving Day gear.
Barry Sanders.
Yeah, but you can go back to old leaping. Old leaping, not mean leaping, but regular leaping. So you don't have a lot of choices as far as changing the logo yet.
could you just you could just go plain too if you want.
They have the plain.
Yeah,
They're keeping that.
The gray plain.
They're keeping the silver plain. Yes,
silver plain.
It's silver. They're really Honolulu silver and blue, and unfortunately they got rid of silver. They went to gray. I don't like gray.
You know, one of the things too with these uniforms, and if you ask me about Michigan changing uniforms, I would be totally against it. But I'm all for this, for a Lions uniform change, is because of winning, right? I mean, when you see the winged helmet of Michigan, you expect to lose that game, or at least, you know, historically,
right?
You know, I know there was a period of time there with the Rich Rod and the Brady Hoke,
back now.
But they are back now.
With the exception of the playoff, they're back.
But again, you see that winged helmet, you walk down the tunnel, you expect to lose that football game.
Ryan, can I cut you off for 2 seconds? I went to my brother's game. This is when my brother was playing for Minnesota. To your point about walking down the tunnel. Went to my brother's game. This is when Berkeley was a sophomore at Minnesota, and they were in Ann Arbor, they were at Michigan. I'm walking down the tunnel, Ryan, and I'm walking next to some Minnesota players, like a safety, a linebacker. I think they're running back. What was his name? Doesn't matter. Johnson or something. They weren't scared.
Marion Barber?
They walked. I played against him. Rest in peace. Yeah. They were walking down the tunnel like they owned the place. You're absolutely right. That's
So there was a period, but I think that period has gotten back to where it used to be now. Conversely, the reason why I want to change the Lions uniforms is because I want them to have a new identity. I mean, you see that lion, and you.
Maybe they go to all black in 2024.
Maybe, whatever.
I don't care. Because that helmet is really
Now, they did say they were going to stick within the colors. Rod Wood did say he was going to stick within the color scheme of the Detroit Lions. But, again, you see the Lions. I mean, granted, outside of 10 games last year, outside of 10 games last year, and even in those 10 games, you really thought you were going to beat the Lions, right? I mean, whoever played the Lions thought they were going to beat the Lions. This uniform has represented losing for the better part of 6 decades. The Detroit Lions uniforms represents losing. That's why I want them to change. Seahawks change, win a Super Bowl. Patriots change, win a Super Bowl. Broncos change, win a Super Bowl. Bucks change, win a Super Bowl. You just see it happen. Now, do those teams win Super Bowls because they change their uniforms? Of course not. But I think it does offer a new identity, and I think this team now has a new identity away from all this losing stink that has stayed on this franchise, on this organization for a long time. I think it is time to change it.
When I got to the Seattle Seahawks in 2012, this would have been the first year of the new uniforms you're talking about, Ryan. And then in 2013, they win a Super Bowl. Damn it, one year too early. But I just listened to Marshawn. I listened to Doug Baldwin. I listened to Ben Obomanu. I listened to a lot of guys just talk about when they went from those Matt Hasselbeck Seattle Seahawks jerseys, the one that they wore when they played the Steelers down the street. When they went from that to the new uniforms that year, they were like, man, it was like a switch flip, man. We felt different, like we feel different. It was, I'm listening to the guys talk like that. So when you say that, like that switch flips, that's a real thing. Like players said that. Marshawn was like, man, I'm glad we got rid of them ugly jerseys, man. Like now we look dope. Now, like Deion said, look good, feel good, play good.
And of course, too, I mean, just another franchise, right? It's the same franchise but a different team. I mean, the Cleveland Browns leave Cleveland. I mean, it is the same franchise. Go to Baltimore, win a Super Bowl. The Houston Oilers leave Houston, go to Tennessee. Right. It's the same franchise. Those are not expansion teams.
Yeah.
So it's essentially a uniform change, and they make it to the Super Bowl.
The Falcons
made it to 1 year.
No, but when the Falcons changed their jerseys with Vic, they had nothing but success for a bunch of years.
It is a thing. It is a thing. But hey, guys, we'll get Dave Birkett on the phone. Lots to get to on the field as well. We'll talk to Dave about that from the Detroit Free Press. We'll do it next. But first, a message from Custom Health Centers. Call Custom Health Centers today, 844-789-THIN, 844-789-THIN. Would you like to lose 20 pounds? How about 120 pounds? Custom Health Centers has a customized approach to your weight loss needs. All you got to do is give them that call. Give them a call, 844-789-THIN. They take the willpower out of weight loss, helping me out, helping a lot of other people out. We'll do it right now, 844-789-THIN.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Lots of Lions talk here on WoodwardSports.com. Thanks for tuning in. Great stuff today, and always by our friend Dave Birkett, Lions beat reporter for the Detroit Free Press. Lots of off-the-field stuff, lots of on-the-field stuff, and we've got him on the phone. Pleasure to be joined by Dave Birkett right now on Twitter, at Dave Birkett, Lions Free Press writer. Hey, Dave, how you doing, buddy?
Hello.
All right, we'll see if we can get Dave on the phone with us. But a lot of good stuff, a lot of good content that he's put out, Braylon. And a lot of this, too, starts with a lot of the guys that they're dumping salary-wise. Michael Brockers, $10 million. They're saving, they salary cap
They got
dump
him to
him.
26, right?
Yeah. So Michael Brockers done. Now, will a guy like Vaitai be next? Will Okwara be next? How many more players do you think the Lions need to kind of dump here?
You got to keep trimming the fat so you can sign some really good players that we want.
Hey, Bobby Wagner, guys like that. Yeah, 100%.
All right, let's try Dave again. Dave, how you doing, buddy? You there?
What's up, Ryan?
Buddy. Yep, I got you.
Dave.
Thanks so much,
He is. What's up, Dave?
Hey, Dave, great stuff today, and I've been so interested in the uniform stuff. I want to start off the field first, if I can. What do we know about the uniforms? What did Rod Wood say about the uniforms? Always a hot topic.
Yeah, people love uniforms. That's for sure. I mean, anytime you tweet about it, write about it, people just lap it up. The Lions are not going to have new uniforms in 2023. I know there's a lot of speculation that they would. Some players have sort of hinted at new uniform designs coming. It's in the process, though, so 2024 you should see a complete redesign of the Lions uniform. That doesn't mean like new color scheme or anything like that, but as Rod told me yesterday, it'll be a little more dramatic maybe than what the Lions did the last time around. So it'll be a new alternate jersey, and next season, 2023, the Lions will unveil their new alternate helmet. So they will have a new helmet that they will wear with their gray uniforms next season.
Hey, Dave, you've talked to Rod Wood a lot. What is his tenor been like over the last couple of months since the offseason? I mean, they did a lot of winning this year, and it feels like everything is in place for this organization to take the next step. How different is his confidence level moving forward, just in your interactions with him?
Yeah, no doubt, and that's really, I wrote about that for a column that'll post tomorrow. I know we put up the uniforms and the Germany game and those things first, but really the bulk of what Rod and I talked about was exactly that, just the optimism that abounds around this team right now, and I think it's unlike anything that he's seen during his 8 seasons or so as Lions president, and I would venture to say unlike anything most fans have seen recently, at least. I think 2011 there was a lot of optimism. Matthew Stafford was young, and Ndamukong Suh was young, and they were coming off that playoff appearance. But the way the Lions finished this season, winning 8 of 10, and narrowly missing the playoffs. I think there's just a lot of people that are looking ahead to say, hey, we have 4, first and second round picks. We have all this cap space. We make a move or two. The NFC North is going to be a little bit down potentially. This is finally a chance for the Lions to claim the top of the division and maybe get a home playoff game.
Dave, while we're sticking off the field for 1 second, I want to ask, did you talk to him about Calvin Johnson's comments a week ago, saying he was close to kind of getting back into the organization a little bit? Does he address that at all?
Yeah, I did. That's another piece that'll post too at some point here on Freak.com. Got a whole bunch of juicy things that'll be going up.
I don't want to break it, but again, you tell our audience that they're going to be able to find that stuff, and we'll talk about it tomorrow once it posts.
Yeah, look, the Kelvin thing, and that might not post till later in the week, but regardless, I think it's still, it's still up in the air a little bit. There's strides have been made, without a doubt, between Kelvin and the organization. Rod is he's kind of handed that off from a Lions standpoint. It's Mike Disner that's running point on that. I'm repairing that relationship. I think there's a lot of hope on both sides that this thing gets resolved, and ultimately the Lions went through it with Barry. I know Kelvin obviously had some hard feelings, I think for good reason, for what went on. I know people in his corner have told him it's important to have the team back in his good graces, and I do think that's going to happen at some point here in relatively short fashion.
Dave, last Tuesday I had a birthday. I'm 40 now, so I'm a part of the club now.
Hey,
man. So I'm in the 40 club now. I appreciate that.
I'm 40.
100%, man. I'm a man. I'm 40. Brian talks about off the field. I want to jump on the field, and you just mentioned it. You said this year coming up, 2023, they're going to challenge for the NFC North, and that's a real deal. You look at the NFC landscape. No quarterback in the 49ers, although they're an amazing team. No quarterback. The Eagles, a lot of players, et cetera, et cetera. Basically, NFC's wide open. I'm not going to ask you who do they need to draft. Who do they need to get in free agency? I'm just going to ask you a simple question. What do they need to do to be that team that does what Cincinnati did 2 years ago?
Hey, Bray, I think we've talked about it before, right? Like, the AFC and the NFC are just in two different stratospheres right now when it comes to quarterback play. And I think
like
that's
the East and the West in the NBA in like 2000.
It's part of the reason why people are so optimistic about the Lions, right? And the AFC, it's Mahomes and Burrow and Josh Allen and, throw Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence and all these guys in the mix. And the NFC, look, the 49ers have a really good roster. And the Eagles, I know they have a lot of free agent decisions to make, but they've got a really good roster too, and they've got draft capital. So those teams aren't going anywhere. Dallas, pretty good defense, right? But, the NFC is open for the taking, and I think the Lions feel like, they have this window of contention. I mean, one little snapshot to that is, exactly what Rod told me about playing in Germany next year, that he wants to play a road game against the Chiefs there, A, because it's better for the Lions, right? I mean, it's not less of a home field advantage, but B, he doesn't want to have to give up a home game in 2024. He'd rather push that to 2026 or 28. So the Lions see this as a window of opportunity that they have right here to contend. And I think as you look at the NFC, if they are able to add, to answer your question, a defensive playmaker or two in free agency and the draft, if they're able to keep that offense humming like it was last season, right? Maybe that's adding another guard. Maybe that's just, cementing the running back position.
There it is.
Whatever it is, right? Just adding another playmaker to complete the offense. I don't think there's any reason why the Lions shouldn't contend for the NFC North title.
Hey, Dave, thanks for coming on again. I know you're on your way to the Combine. There's going to be a lot of action coming up in Indy. And I just wanted to talk to you about the draft coming up. I know you put your mock out a few days back, and we talked about it. Obviously, everyone's got, let's take a cornerback. We got to take a cornerback at 6. Got to take him. But then you had Bijan Robinson slipping to 18, and the Lions jumping on him. And that's Ryan's guy.
That's my dream.
Bijan Robinson. Yeah. My dream guy's a quarterback. But I guess we won't talk about that. But I just want to get your take on the quarterback class that is going to be here. It was a big 3. Now it's a big 4. Anthony Richardson joins the fray, I think. He is moving up the charts. I don't know. I think most of these quarterbacks will be gone inside the first 8 picks. I just want your opinion on that, and do you think the Lions will grab a quarterback at any point?
No, I think you're right that those guys are probably looking like all, let's call it top 10 picks. I think I had Anthony Richardson slipping into the teens in my mock, but, he has higher upside than anyone, so he could be he could go number 2 to Houston, if I'm being honest, if I might do that at mock, right? But look, and me, Maz, I'm on the probably driving the quarterback train for the Lions for a couple of years now, like never off it. But
we're on it with
I think at the end of the day, this draft is Bryce Young is the best quarterback, despite the concerns about his size. C.J. Stroud is probably number 2, both because of the tools that he has and sort of the safety that he provides compared to the other two. And you got the two defensive playmakers, obviously, at the top as well. So if one of those four happens to slip to number 6, if I'm the Lions, I run the card up. I don't think any of those four do. And, Levis and Richardson, they just, they have the tools that sort of make you drool, but they're also sort of farther away from reaching their potential. So I think, given where the Lions are and what we just talked about, this window of opportunity that they have right now, I think they would err more on, fixing that defense, taking a playmaker, contending, than taking a lottery ticket and waiting to see if it cashes. But having that second first-round pick affords them the luxury of taking a quarterback if there's really one that they like and they think, hey, give it a year and this guy can be our Patrick Mahomes.
Man, just your take on this, Dave. You already have 5 solid rookies on defense that you're building this team with. Why not just sign a Bobby Wagner or Jalen Ramsey? What do you think that's in the realm of possibility? Because I know back in the day, it's not. They're not signing these guys. But this is a team that I think is ready to win a playoff game or more.
Yeah, and adding a player like one of those two would certainly do it. Look, I think Wagner at this point in his career is probably more a stopgap, where you're still going to get maybe 3 good years out of a Jalen Ramsey, depending on the contractual stuff, or a Marshawn Lattimore. I don't know exactly what his contract is like, but perhaps there's an opportunity to trade for one of those guys. Look, in a little sneak peek of what I wrote in my column for tomorrow, Rod did say that. He expects the Lions to, I think he said, they have the capital to be more active than they've been the last couple of years. And whether that means, bringing players in who, aren't currently on the roster, re-signing their own, he said it'd be a combination of both. I think there are guys that they could go out and target, specifically on defense, if you can add, one more prominent playmaker, I guess, that can have a big impact on the entire unit.
Talking to Dave Birkett, Detroit Free Press Lions beat reporter on his way to the Combine now. Lots of great stuff going on there. Before I get off, I guess we could get off the draft for 1 second, because I want to ask you about that flexibility this offseason. They've already let go Michael Brockers to free up some space. Do you anticipate a couple of more moves to free up some space? And then the elephant in the room, and you wrote about this as well, is Jalen Ramsey. Is this a real possibility? Is this a player that Brad Holmes would make a move on and do away with some of that draft capital?
Let's hit the second question there first. I don't know, just to be frank. That's part of what I hope to ascertain down in Indianapolis. Yeah. I think, the Lions make sense for all the reasons people already know about, right? They need a cornerback, and Brad's ties to the organization, and we've seen some players be active in trying to recruit him on social media. So I think there could be a fit there. Now, look, if it takes pick 18 and you think you can get, let's just call it the second best cornerback on your board, right? Whoever that may be, and you have that guy locked up for 5 years at a cheaper price, is it worth it? I think that's a different discussion that you have to have organizationally. So I think it's possible, but I don't know anything one way or another right now to say how likely that is for the Lions.
What do you think that takes? Does it take a 1? Like
no way. I'm not giving a 1.
Peter King said yesterday I could see a late first round pick, like a 26-31, or I could see 2 2s, like a 2 and a 3, or something like that. What does that take? What does that even look like?
Ultimately, I do think it probably takes a 1, and we're not talking number 6. I think that would be way, way, way too rich. But, if you're talking a pick in the bottom half of round 1, especially those are contending teams usually, right? And so, as we talked about with the Lions, if they see themselves having a window like, hey, we've got 3 years here, we need to make a run for this right now. Let's go get a guy that we still think is one of the best cornerbacks in the game. Well, that's well worth pick number 26 or whatever it's going to cost. So if you're the Lions and you don't pick till the middle of round 2, the price for you is probably number 18, or maybe it's your second and third, or whatever, some combination of capital that you have. So, yes, I do think they could get a first round pick for him, and it but it's just going to come down to what kind of suitors and how many suitors, I guess, the Rams have if they do decide to sell him. Because here's the other thing, Ryan. Like, Sean McVay's back, Matthew Stafford's back, Aaron Donald seems like he's back, right? So if you're the Rams, aren't you trying to take one more run at it too? Like, sure. I'm not totally sold that the Rams, are selling off all their parts this year based on who they still have coming back.
100%. Totally agree.
Dave, last one from me. I'm going to go back to the quarterback again. They're going to have to pay Jared. They're going to have to pay Jared Goff. Okay, they're going to have to pay him. Daniel Jones is looking for $45 million. So that means let's say he gets 40 or 38. That's what you have to pay Jared Goff. So here's a chance for this team to get their real, true blue quarterback of the future at number 6. I'm saying it. I'd rather have a quarterback at number 6 than take one of these other guys. I'm not talking about Jalen Carter and Will Anderson. I'm not talking about them. Because if they slip, I'm running the card up. But they're not going to. So if I take my quarterback at 6, back in the day, the quarterback gets picked this high, he's going to a crappy team. The Lions are ready to win. They have the offensive line. They have the quarterback. They have the running backs, the wide receivers. They have a great offensive coordinator. This is a chance. I'm not saying the kid has to start. He's got 2 years behind God, so you pay him $35 million, for now. This is a perfect situation for a young quarterback.
Well, I think all the points you made are, why it's feasible for the Lions to draft one and why this debate rages on. And look, it's going to cost, just talking average salary, right? There's different ways to spread that out over the cap. It's going to cost $45 million is what it's going to cost probably to redo Goff, because by the time he signs, Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow and Jalen Hurts are going to have new deals, and Kyler Murray got $46 million last year, and he plays PlayStation instead of studying his playbook. So it's not going to be cheap. Now, the one thing that Brad said at the end of the year is that it's still, it's much easier to get worse at quarterback than get better. And, that may be, talking a little bit out of fear at the position, right? But, Jared Goff had a good season last year. He's going to be the starter this year.
Right.
Maybe you don't want to make a move to keep his confidence up or whatever impact that might have on him. But Maz, I'm with you that it at least has to be considered because of the salary ramifications, really, of paying him in a year or two or this summer or whenever you have to pay him, and then the ability to have a young guy on a cheap deal to build the team around.
This is it. You're not picking at 6 anymore. This is it. This is the last bus stop.
And hey, we've said that for years. Right? This is the 5th straight year that they've had a top 10 pick, and I know I wrote that back in the fall that it's when you have that, to not come away from that stretch with a quarterback, it sort of boggles the mind. Like it's something that, in my eyes, you have to do, right? Sort of organizational malfeasance. Now the Lions have, they've overcame that, right? They were a really good team by the end of the season, and I think they can be going forward. And so maybe that changes the outlook, but at least in my eyes, all avenues have to be considered with those top picks.
Hey, Dave, we appreciate it, my man. Can't thank you enough. And yes, I am on the Anthony Richardson at 6, Bijan Robinson at 18 train. I am on that train. Screw your defense. You see what Patrick Mahomes did to the Eagles in that second half.
That was a hell of a defense.
Hey, and don't forget, Dave.
So Chris Jones and Frank Clark won on the other side.
Well, hey, man, look. The New England Patriots drafted 10 quarterbacks while they had Tom Brady on the roster. Just think about that.
They traded 3 of them for pretty good deals.
Dave, we'll be looking forward to these columns throughout the week and weeks. I remember covering spring training. Was there for 4 days. Got 4 weeks worth of stories. They all trickle out. Thanks, Dave. We appreciate it, my man. You got it. Detroit Free Press, Freak.com. Dave Birkett.
Hey, we got Dave on our side.
We do. Well, maybe.
We do.
I think we're getting him there.
I think we're getting him there. Got to take a break. We'll have some reaction to everything we talked about next. But first, a message from Fairway Packing Company. Fairway Packing, looking for a way to elevate your dinner? Choose Fairway Packing Company. Family owned and operated since 1956. Try their Burrata Blend burgers, the award-winning Chop House steaks, and impress your friends with a dry-aged Wagyu tomahawk steak. See why there's top chefs in the country. Choose Fairway. Visit their steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods. Order online. They ship anywhere. Visit fairwaypacking.com. Fairwaypacking.com.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Be sure to check with Swiss Insurance this week for your commercial insurance review. Many businesses choose the one-to-one effective date. Swiss can help make sure that you have the proper coverage because Swiss Insurance is that good. Give them a try. Swiss Insurance Group.
WoodwardSports.com. I could talk to Birkett all day about these Detroit Lions, and it is interesting. Like we talk about the quarterbacks a lot, and we're gonna talk about the quarterback situation a ton, Braylon. But again, by the time you have to re-sign Jared Goff,
$50 million.
You know, all these other guys are going to sign. Lamar Jackson is going to sign. Joe Burrow is going to sign.
Jalen Hurts
is going to sign. So these enormous numbers are going to be out there, and $35 million looks like a bargain.
Yeah,
looks like a bargain for Jared Goff right now. But again, you can't pay him $45 million and expect to build a competent football team around him. I would pay Patrick Mahomes $50 million because he's going to make up for a million deficiencies.
I give him $60 million.
I give him $100.
If these guys are getting 40,
but again,
he should get 80.
But again, those players are going to make up for just about any deficiency you have on your roster. I'm sorry, as much as I love Jared Goff, and I love Jared Goff, and the Lions may even win a playoff game behind Jared Goff, I just don't think you can pay him that kind of money.
You can't pay him that kind of money. And listen, man, I think the problem is when you have the conversation about Jared Goff, it gets taboo with Detroit Lions fans because they didn't want him at first, and then you see what he did towards the end of 2021, and then you see how he played at basically for the most – probably for the whole season last year, how well he played, and you're like, oh no, we got to have Jared Goff, man. That's blasphemous. Why would you talk about drafting the guy? We got our guy. No, you don't, because Jared Goff can't win on the road. No, you can't. Jared Goff can't win on the road. He doesn't win in big games. Like, this is a guy that only wins at home, and he only wins. So it's like, you see what you're going to get out of Jared Goff. You know you have, and it's okay. It's not disrespect to Jared Goff. It's what you've seen out of him. Believe your eyes. So you got to draft the quarterback if the quarterback situation is available, because I'm not paying Jared Goff $43 million to win games at home. I'm not. I'm not paying $43 million.
He can win on the road.
He hasn't.
Well, he beat the Jets and Giants this year.
They're 4-4 this year.
He's 4-4, but look at his track record, like throughout, like his career. He does not win on the road. Like, he's 4-4.
He's his stats are way lower on the road.
They beat
no question about that.
They beat the Jets with a quarterback that the Jets didn't even want to put in the game. Like, they were 4-4 on the road, but Jared Goff is. I like what Jared Goff has done, and I can appreciate.
Me too.
I can appreciate the journey. I also love the fact that he came here and he was trying to figure himself out, and he's figured it out through Ben Johnson and this team and Dan Campbell. But if you guys are serious, like if you Lions fans are serious, about going to the Super Bowl, about winning the NFC Championship game, about taking that next step, you're going to have a guy, and I don't know if it's in this draft, but you're going to have to have a guy, and the guy isn't Jared Goff, unless you shore up the defense.
And again, for all these anti-quarterback people out there, the freaking New England Patriots drafted 10 quarterbacks while Tom Brady was on the roster. They did okay.
Yeah, they did.
They did okay.
They took a couple of our draft picks and made them better too.
Right.
Yeah.
So Matt Castle took him to 11-5 when Tom Brady tore his ACL.
No, again, none of those guys.
Smart business.
None of those guys were first-round guys. I don't know where Jimmy Garoppolo was. Jimmy Garoppolo a second-round guy?
Yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo was a second-round guy. But again, they always took late stabs at guys. I just think
smart teams do that. You heard Dave. It's malfeasance for the Lions to not have chosen one quarterback in the last 5 drafts.
Right.
They haven't picked the quarterback since Matthew Stafford.
The only two times that Tom Brady got hurt when he was playing for the New England Patriots, those quarterbacks that filled in from got them to the playoffs.
Yeah.
The one year with Jimmy Garoppolo, Jacoby Brissett, and then the other year Matt Castle went 11-5. You gotta have somebody in the stable ready.
Hoyer's decent too.
Oh, that's right, Trip. They got him paid because he went to Cleveland and got paid.
Yep.
I would like to see, too, one of the things I wanted to ask Dave that I did not ask Dave was who would be kind of in the running or a front runner for the Lions to go get in terms of a backup quarterback. Marcus Mariota was cut today. I don't know if he's in line to be a starter anywhere next year, or if he believes he could be a starter somewhere next year, or if he would go back up one of these premier guys, well, I guess Kansas City wouldn't pay him backup money to go back up Mahomes, but they're in the market for a backup quarterback as well because Chad Henne retired too. But Marcus Mariota is a guy that I would look at.
If you're a playoff team, playoff ready team, you need a true blue backup and a halfway decent third string quarterback.
Yeah, I talked about Marcus Mariota all last offseason. I thought he would be a great backup situation. He ended up being a starter for the Atlanta Falcons. But you definitely now you guys are a championship team you're aspiring to be, and it's close, and you guys are starting to put things together. Now is when you make moves and you do things that championship teams do, like have Joe Montana, but oh, by the way, we got Steve Young waiting in the wings. You got to do smart things like that.
The window is now for the Detroit Lions.
Yes.
The window is wide open. You feel that breeze coming through, and you can jump on in.
The NFC is yours if you go for it.
There's no doubt about that, and that is something we have not seen. I don't care what Aaron Rodgers wants to go back to Green Bay, fine. He wants to stay in the darkness, fine. He wants to go to the Jets, fine. Whatever he wants to do is fine. What you have in the NFC North Division right now, regardless of what anybody else does, is yours. You are the top dog. You are the front runner. Not Chicago, not Minnesota, not Green Bay. The Detroit freaking Lions.
Correct. They have the biggest upside of those 3 teams. Minnesota is a couple of defenders away from being superb. They got Brian Flores coaching their defense now. So don't pee on Minnesota. That's all I'm going to say.
Not at all. I agree with you, man.
Yeah.
Guys, Mel Kiper came out with a mock draft today, 2.0. What does he have for the Detroit Lions? I bet you fans are going to love what Mel Kiper has. You're going to love what Kiper has for you. Ooh, a little defense.
Oh, get Christian Gonzalez. Please.
Gotta get the defense.
Give me him.
Ooh, we'll get you that next. But first, a message from SMA.
I can't stand you two.
Please, give me a corner.
I can't stand you guys. The Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health as well as substance abuse. Their podcast is the S word, and the S word stands for stigma, because Sean Jordan and NFL Alumni Association are trying to destigmatize mental health as well as substance abuse disorder. When you're not okay, it's okay, but where do you go to get that information? Where do you go to find out how to be better? Well, you go to thesportsma.com.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
When it comes to making your haircut truly an experience, there's no better place than Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to any one of our 26 Metro Detroit locations for an award-winning haircut experience and qualify for a chance to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Our precision haircut and talented stylists will have you looking good, feeling good, and give you a chance to change your life forever. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Hey, it's Maz for Cousins Maine Lobster. Cousins Maine Lobster food truck is up for Food Truck of the Year. You can help them win it, and you could win some pet cash prizes for yourself. Here's how you do it. Make sure you go vote for them right now at freep.com. The Best of Detroit. Follow them on Facebook.com/CML for Cousins Maine Lobster Detroit. CML Detroit. Make sure you vote for them. If they win and you push them over the top, you could be a winner of a $300 Visa gift card. That's how simple it is. Check that right now. See where they are right now. They might be in your neighborhood. Just check that QR code and see where those food trucks are. Trust me, you are going to love what you're tasting. The best lobster from Maine, except right here in Detroit. CousinsMaineLobster.com.
Hour number 2, WoodwardSports.com. Check out that website. Thanks to everybody who is and has checked all the awesome additions and updates to that site. And of course, we will have much more coming in the coming weeks and months. WoodwardSports.com. Of course, Fox2Detroit.com. If you're watching on that platform, hello. We thank you for that. And of course, Apple, iTunes, or wherever you get your podcasts. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports. Subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Thank you very much. Shameless plug there. The originator, the godfather, the inventor of the mock draft, the great Mel Kiper, came out with his latest mock draft.
He and Chris Berman put the draft
on the market. He did. They put the draft on television, and the rest is history. Yep. And the rest is history. How do you guys want me to do this? You want me just to say what he did? Yeah. Lions aside. Okay, let's take the Lions out of this for a second. Just tell you what he did with this.
Just do top 5.
Top 5 picks. What he does with the Chicago Bears is genius. If the Chicago Bears pull off what Mel Kiper has them pulling off, it will be the greatest draft day in the history of draft days.
Since the movie Draft Day.
I believe.
I got to watch that again.
He's got the Chicago Bears trading out of that pick, but just going back to 2. He's got Houston trading up from 2 to 1 to ensure that they get their guy, Bryce Young. So Bryce Young goes to Houston, Chicago at 2, Chicago on the clock. He's got Chicago trading back again from 2 to 4. Trading with Indy. Indianapolis trades up and gets their quarterback, C.J. Stroud. Ooh. So Chicago has traded from 1 to 2, 2 to 4, and have just stockpiled draft picks. Is that first of all, that move alone?
And they got a ton of money.
Have you ever seen anything like that?
No.
I was joking. Outside of Kevin Costner and Draft Day, no, I've never seen anything like this. This is amazing for them because, one, we keep talking about the quarterback. Mel Kiper and everybody else is talking about Will Levis. So Will Levis is jumping up on the stockpile. Bryce Young is starting to jump up. He had slid down to 5. Now he's back in the contention to be 1 or 2. And then C.J. Stroud is starting to go up the ladder. You legitimately are about to get 2 first-round picks or 2 super early second-round picks moving back and still being able to get your guy. Maz, when we talked about it last week, I was like, you got Justin Fields. You have a guy that can be a guy. Yeah. Why are you going to draft Bryce Young and then trade Justin Fields? That'd be the dumbest thing that I've ever seen a franchise do. Oh, by the way, it's the Chicago Bears. They're used to doing dumb
stuff. The Cardinals did it.
Yeah, Josh Rosen. Yeah. They almost got lucky, but this is a good situation for the Chicago Bears. The NFC North is about to be very interesting this year coming up because they're getting a lot of draft capital and they got a lot of money to spend. It's going to be interesting to see what they do.
So Arizona at 3 would take Will Anderson Jr., and the Chicago Bears would get their guy still, Jalen Carter, at number 4.
And gain 2 first rounds.
Is that
by the way.
unbelievable?
Yeah, that would be
cheating.
That would be fun to watch.
Oh, man. That would be the greatest draft scenario I think I've ever seen.
Now, that could have been Houston had they not won out and won their last game.
Well, no,
Houston would have in overtime.
Houston would have
But
just
they didn't have a quarterback.
Houston would have just taken the quarterback anyway, wouldn't they have?
Yeah, but they wouldn't have had to trade.
Well, okay.
Just saying.
Yeah. So you've got that. Also, this is an interesting scenario, and it would affect the Detroit Lions, I think. They've got Mel Kiper has Carolina trading from 9 to 5. We haven't seen that a lot to get in front of the Detroit Lions to take the quarterback that they want, and they would take Will Levis, quarterback from Kentucky. So the Panthers get their quarterback at 5. 3 trades in the top 5 picks.
Nice.
Isn't that something?
I got
That's
a story.
amazing.
I got a story coming up later. Sorry, Bray.
No, you're good.
Remember I told you yesterday, Ryan, about the Seahawks? I said the Seahawks are going to take a quarterback. Now, Mel's got him trading out. I've got a scenario where Pete Carroll says we're all in on a quarterback. That's all I'm going to say. I'll tell you about it later. But I don't think Seattle's trading that pick.
So here you go. You ready for what Mel Kiper has?
Yep.
He's got Seattle trading out of 5 to 9, swapping with Carolina.
Yep.
And at number 9, the Seattle Seahawks select Anthony Richardson, quarterback, Florida.
How could they? Because the Lions are going to take him.
Oh, no. Lions, baby.
Oh, man.
Give me Christian.
Christian Gonzalez, with the 6th overall pick. Christian Gonzalez, quarterback, Oregon.
Can't wait.
I wrote this in January. This was a little high for the Lions to take a cornerback. You don't say.
Really?
But I've come
Unless it's
around on
Sauce
the
Gardner.
ceiling of this corner class. We could see 2 in the top 10. People I talked to in the NFL believe Gonzalez is going to test off the charts at the Combine.
Oh, good.
Devin Witherspoon at Illinois, Joey Porter Jr. from Penn State also have a chance to be the number 1 corner as well. Gonzalez said, so you don't know who's better between Gonzalez, Witherspoon, or Porter? Just saying. Gonzalez had a stellar 2022 season, picked off 4 passes. The Lions also own the number 18 overall pick, so they can come out with 2 plug-and-play starters on defense. But again, so there you have it.
I'm just always leery of Pac-12 stats as it relates to DBs. All they do in the Pac-12 is throw the ball 700 times a game. So if you get 4 picks,
Get good exercise.
You should get 4 picks in one game. So I'm leery of that. It's just so interesting. When we keep going back to this point that the Lions are finally in a situation where the structure is pretty good, where they can take a couple different picks and win at 6 or win at 18. I just don't know if Christian Gonzalez is it. Testing off the charts, that's okay. A lot of people test off the charts. What does that film say? What does that film look like? When I turn on the Christian Gonzalez film, when I'm watching it and I'm breaking it down, do I see in these snapshots enough for me to draft you 6 overall? I just don't know yet. I just don't know. I'm not on the Christian Gonzalez bandwagon just yet. I'm just not on it.
Right, let me ask you this. Go back to your sheet.
Okay.
Tell me who picks at 7 and 8, and what do they do before Seattle at 9?
At number 7, the Las Vegas Raiders select Devin Witherspoon, cornerback, Illinois.
Now, I know they're after a quarterback as well, just to let you know.
At number 8, the Atlanta Falcons, Will McDonald IV, defensive end, Iowa State.
Okay.
Now, again, might I add, you can go to any of these mock drafts. Where's the last time you've seen Will McDonald IV?
I haven't.
I've seen Christian Gonzalez at 18.
Old McDonald?
Tyree Wilson is 12th in this mock draft. We've seen him at 3.
Yes.
I mean, I looked at the big board on ESPN and all of these
slipped to 27.
Christian Gonzalez is the 16th best player in the draft.
Yeah.
You're going to take
at 6?
The 16th best player in the draft at 6?
No.
Is that what you're going to? Are the Detroit Lions in a position to draft for need instead of now? If you want to reach, you reach on a quarterback.
Absolutely.
You don't reach on a corner.
No.
You don't take the 16th best player.
You already reached with
You just don't. It just can't happen.
Listen to me. Here's my scenario.
I'd rather
now.
him take Neil's guy, Skronsky. I'd rather him take the offensive
Here's my
line.
scenario.
He's gonna be nice.
Seattle traded to 9 now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's what you do. If you're the Lions, hey, Seattle, you screwed us last year twice. How about we hear you want Anthony Richardson? Well, we're going to take him. Or the Raiders are going to take him behind us. You want to come up and get him? Now I'll move down to 9. If you really don't want a quarterback, I'll move down to 9 and take one of those secondary defensive guys at 9. But I picked up another draft pick or 2. I ain't sitting at 6 and taking a stinking quarterback that ain't Deion Sanders or Sauce Gardner.
Right.
I'm not.
Yeah.
You have to be idiotic to take the 16th best player or 20th best player at 6. Come on, guys. Wake up. Or the chat, wake up.
Matt, you said the same thing last week when we were talking about the odds on the number 1 pick overall. And we saw how the odds dropped from Bryce to CJ. And then you go from, plus 300, plus 400.
To plus 10,000.
And then it gets all the way to plus 6,600.
Yeah.
I can't draft a guy at 6. When the odds go from, and you're talking about the 16th best player in the draft, those odds probably are down to 78? Like, I can't do it, man. You got to get the right guy in the situation. Ryan, can the Lions miss on one and still be okay?
Sure. Sure. Yeah, I mean, they could absolutely miss on one because I think they're going to, I would stash one. I don't think you can miss on a I think it's a real crappy thing if you pick a cornerback and you swing and miss. If you take a defensive end and you whiff.
You can take a cornerback. His name is Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the cornerback you take.
I mean, just look at this draft. It's full of a lot of really good players. You know where he's got your boy Brian Persay going from Clemson, who was
not my boy.
What's
he, 20th
I think it was
now?
at 6.
19.
Not in this first round mock
There
draft.
you go.
Oof.
There you go.
Not in the mock draft.
But yet these people on the chat want him at 6.
Right. Your boy
Just
Brian
because he plays defense doesn't mean that he's your pick.
Right. Persay is not even in this first round of the mock draft. You know where Luke Van Ness was, who they had him going 7 yesterday?
he's good.
Third.
You know,
He was like
he's
third.
going
He was like second.
he's good.
Hold on, let me keep turning the pages
he's so
here.
good.
Let me keep turning the pages. 24 to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I'm going 6 or
Put
7.
him with Trayvon Walker.
I mean, come on, man.
This is always a fun period in mock drafts, like that period when you're like probably like Valentine's Day to the end of the combine, where it just completely just keeps shifting. You have guys in the 3rd round jumping to the 1st round. You have guys in the 1st round jumping to the 4th round. This is a fun time.
If there was a redraft of 2022, I'm going to show that to you next. Just humor me. I'm going to show it to you next because all these people about, Kenneth Walker wasn't a first-round running back. Why would you take Bijan Robinson? Let me show you where Kenneth Walker would go if, in fact, there was a redraft. We'll do that next. And where Aiden Hutchinson would go. Who would be the first pick overall? There would be somebody else different there. We've got a lot to get to.
Christian Gonzalez.
But first, look at the
He's a lock at 6.
Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Get him.
All right, here we go.
Defense.
Christian Gonzalez loves the folding warehouse. He does. Trust me. Everyone does. Get down there to Hamtramck and have some fun. 2 ways to play it: $12 unlimited open play, or a private lane reservation of your own for $120 for 2 hours. You get it, and 10 or 12 people could get on a lane. Any drink you want a Bloody Mary? They got it. They got
Bloody
you covered.
Mary.
You want a whiskey sour? Do they still drink whiskey sours?
Oh, man.
Give me your whiskey sour.
A long time.
Hey, we can have one of those as well. They got it. They got multiple full bars, over 100 beers on the menu, and the $2 mystery beer machine. Get your full on at foldingwarehouse.com.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
You're about to be shell-shocked. The catch of the day is in. Big Boy Seafood Fest is officially back. Join us for some of your favorites like our popcorn shrimp and pike perch platters and our classic fish and chips. This year, we've reeled in some fresh catches like our shrimp Alfredo, shrimp stir-fry, and our fish sandwich. And especially, don't forget about our all-you-can-eat Friday night fish fry buffet. Every day is a fish fry at Big Boy.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Now is the best time to join Planet Fitness because for today only, their surprise flash sale is going on. You can join Planet Fitness right now for $1 down and $10 a month.
Only $10?
Yes, only $10. Now look, Planet Fitness has more than 50 convenient locations around the Metro Detroit area, so no matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness nearby. Join any club today, or as always, you can check them out online at planetfitness.com.
Hey, we're getting the Malik laughers. They
God.
Just love us.
They're never going to let you guys go.
Malik will never let us go.
Bad take. What are you going to do?
Never let us go.
If that is the one thing you take from this show, is the only thing you can come back
That's all
with,
they ever say.
If that is the only thing that you can clap back with, I think we've done a good job.
Facts.
Just saying. WoodwardSports.com. The 33rd team, one of our favorite new sites, really, did a 2022 redraft of last year's draft. Here's some of the players in the draft. Kind of hard and confusing maybe to look at. But the number one overall pick in this draft from the Jacksonville Jaguars would have been Sauce Gardner, number one. Aiden Hutchinson goes to, in fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 players would remain the same. Hutchinson 2, Drake London at 8, Cross at 9, Wilson 10, Olave 11, and Jameson Williams, they do have him still at number 12. But Kenneth Walker, I think this was really interesting. Kenneth Walker, you see him at number 23. Can you imagine how good the Buffalo Bills would have been this year?
They might have won 2 playoff games.
They would have drafted Kenneth Walker in the first round of the NFL draft. Instead, the Buffalo Bills drafted, with the 23rd pick, cornerback Kaiir Elam, who would not be a first-round pick if you redrafted now.
Yeah, Buffalo's got a lot of things going on, man. You know, they blew it with that pick last year. They blew it with their offensive interior alignment, how they're doing it. Buffalo's got a lot to answer for. But Kenneth Walker, one thing we talk about, Ryan, believe what you see with your eyes. When you see Kenneth Walker coming to the Michigan game 2 years ago, or actually 3 years ago, about, was it 2020? So yes, 20. Anyway, 2 years ago, comes into the game. Michigan knows who to stop, who's the guy, who's going to be the guy that they got to focus on. Couldn't get it done. He beat Michigan by himself 5 touchdowns. And you're talking about Aiden Hutchinson was on the other side of that, Ryan Amani. Talking about David Ojabo was on the other side of that. Josh Ross. And you got to believe what you see, man. He should have been a first-round pick. We talked about it also. What if the Lions would have snuck and drafted him in the second round? That was something that we talked about. Kenneth Walker's a damn good player, and Seattle got lucky with that one.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And just
they got lucky 5 times.
It just goes to show you how much people just reach for these players. And, you can't take a running back here, yada, yada. I mean, Kenneth Walker would have won you 2 playoff games.
Is it a reach if you see it on film and you believe it?
Well, I mean, yesterday we had a bunch of people saying you can't take Bijan Robinson in the first round because Kenneth Walker would go. It didn't go in the first round, and I'm like, Kenneth Walker was a second-round pick that essentially won a wild card spot. You know, and of course Geno Smith, but Geno Smith didn't win a game without Kenneth Walker.
They don't have Kenneth Walker last year after Rashad Penny gets hurt.
Right.
They win 4 games last year.
Seattle didn't win a game last year that Walker didn't play.
100%.
Just saying. And
is that a fact?
Yeah, that is a fact.
He played against the Lions?
He did play.
He scored, I think.
Rashad Penny had 200 yards against us that game.
K9 scored on the left, like right by the tunnel.
Okay.
Yeah, right by the tunnel.
Okay.
I want to point out too. Kenny Pickett goes 6.
Yes.
Kenny Pickett 6.
That's
you got
a bad quarterback
on that,
class.
Got a thought on that?
Yeah,
Maz?
bad quarterback class. Can't take a quarterback last year. They all suck. Well, he's pretty good, and the Steelers are very lucky to have him because you know why? Because they're smart. That's why.
Yeah,
they don't listen to us. They listen to themselves.
Kenny Pickett's going to be good with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, he fits into the identity, and Pittsburgh will figure it out. Pittsburgh's always going to have a good defense. They're going to always be in games, be comparable. They keep some wide receivers. Deontay Johnson was only a product of the offense and the offensive line last year. They got some players, man. You saw Carl Pickens make some plays. Not Carl Pickens, but Pickens make some plays. Carl Pickens played for the Bengals, man.
Yeah, back in the day.
In the early 90s. They're going to be a good team.
Slim Pickens.
If Carolina drafts Kenny Pickett, if we're going back to the 2022 draft.
How about that?
I don't know about that, man. Like,
wow.
I'm looking at the offense. One, they're a running team. Two, they had the guy that they traded to
Robbie Anderson. I think he changed his name now.
He's a headache waiting to happen.
I think his name is Chosen now.
Chosen to do what?
I don't know.
Ride the bench?
He's Chosen Anderson.
He's annoying.
Hey, just the last point about this. Brock Purdy, 7th round pick, last overall, to the first round 26 overall to the New York Jets.
Wow.
And that's something.
Jets did not get Zach Wilson, but they got Brock Purdy.
And that's something.
Nice.
Interesting, too, this redraft would have Aiden Hutchinson going number 2 overall as the first of the 3 defensive players that will always be linked together in Trayvon Walker and Kayvon Thibodeau.
Well, Wilson dropped. Wilson got drafted. What was he?
Garrett Wilson?
No, the Jets took him here on this.
Yeah,
on this thing.
Yeah, he's 10.
What was he in the draft?
10.
He was
10 to the Jets. 10 to the Jets.
He was there.
Same with Olave. Same with Williams. Actually, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 are all in their slots.
Interesting.
From last
They
year.
keep Drake London ahead.
I know. I'm surprised about that.
And Garrett Wilson had 1,100 yards as a rookie with no quarterback, bro.
Drake didn't have a quarterback either.
Yeah. Interesting stuff here. Guys, I want to examine some quarterbacks next, too. The Will Levis love is off the charts. Colin Cowherd had a conversation comparing him to somebody today, and I want to get Braylon's take on that because I'm more and more people that I respect are talking me into this thing. Even to the point where, forget about Anthony Richardson. I mean, would you take Will Levis if he's there on the board?
I've told you I will take any quarterback that falls to me at that number.
I'm going to tell you who Colin compared Will Levis to. We'll do that next. But first, a message from Les Stanford. Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC. Les Stanford, final day of the month. That means all your great deals are happening today, including a 2022 Silverado Crew Cab LT for just $289 a month. You can go there right now and drive off in the lot. Call them up, too, 844-921-0780. They'll hold it for you. Just buy the car today.
Trust me on this, guys. As a car salesman guy, the last day of the month is the real deal. Trust me. You'll make your best deal today.
Absolutely. Go to Les Stanford right now. Give them a call today. Go online. Get on with a sales associate. Find the best deals today. LesStanford.com. Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Find them.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
At Alta.
Uptime, it matters.
Uptime matters. You heard the man. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. If you have a big project coming up, give Alta Rental a call today. They've got you covered, guaranteed. Call them at 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO, the number 2, Alta.
So funny. I saw a truck.
You saw Alta truck?
An Alta truck, and I automatically just say uptime, it matters. I mean, it is so funny.
It's sick.
It is
it's like mad chasing down the Guardian alarm trucks.
That's right.
Braylon, you want to clean up this 2022 redraft real quick?
Yeah, I just had a quick thought before you move forward. You talk about Christian Gonzalez. And I told you, I'm not on the Christian Gonzalez bandwagon, especially not at 6. I just don't think I can get there with Christian Gonzalez. Here's why. You look at this draft last year, Derek Stingley Jr. went 3rd overall after having a bad junior year, although his freshman and sophomore year were amazing. Guess who went in the 2nd round is Petrie. So last year, Petrie now on this list is 14. He gets
Jalen Petrie.
He gets drafted in the 2nd round out of Baylor. Jalen Petrie had 125 tackles, 5 interceptions, and 11 pass breakups. Derek Stingley, who went 3rd overall, not quite so much. And that's why I'm not high on a DB at 6. If you're going to draft the DB at 6 overall, I need to see Deion.
Sauce.
Sauce was
there. You go. I need to see Sauce. I need to see Sauce Gardner. I need to see Patrick Peterson. I need to see DBs like that I know are going to be Jalen Ramsey, are going to be game changers. Christian Gonzalez, you talk about reach. That's definitely a reach. I can't do it.
What did he do?
I can't do it.
What did he do against who's the quarterback out there at USC?
Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams. What did he do against Caleb Williams? Anybody know?
What
did he do against?
I'm sure the kid's a good player.
Yeah.
I'm not taking him at 6.
Right.
At 6, I don't want a good player.
Right.
I want a great player,
Right.
especially when I see what the trajectory that I'm building is. Can't take a good player at 6.
It's fine.
And if you don't want to take a quarterback, trust me, there are at least 3 teams underneath you that want that pick.
Guys, I wanted to talk about Will Levis for a minute because more and more, and we kind of talked about this in regards to Mel Kiper. And just let me read for you what Mel Kiper has about him. And Braylon, you had that thought, and you basically say these guys are, they're paid people that get information.
Who brought that up yesterday, Bray?
They could be.
They could be. They could be. Mel Kiper loves Will Levis. He said the reality is we're going to do much more. Levis isn't loved by every NFL scout, but his potential is really high. He has a cannon for an arm, even if he can be a little sloppy with the ball at times. He played in a pro-style offense with the Wildcats and didn't have much elite talent around him, especially with a young offensive line. He will excel once he gets his legs around him and a step up in talent. That's a bet a team is going to be willing to take. And he talks about Carolina doing that. Colin Cowherd.
Great take. I loved it.
It was a great take, and I wish I could play it for you, but I cannot.
I made Luke Klotz, our guy, our superb social media director in the back, and he was not a Will Levis guy. And this kid got some great knowledge of the game, and I made him sit down for 5 minutes and listen to what Colin said. I'm like, just listen to him. I'm not saying he's an expert. He's like us, except he knows some NFL insiders. On top of that, I just want you to hear what he has to say.
And again, I can't play that for you, but I will summarize. Will Levis did not play with an all-conference first team or an all-conference second team teammate in the SEC. He has had no talent around him whatsoever. His numbers are very comparable collegiately at Kentucky that Phillip Rivers was at NC State and Eli Manning was at Ole Miss. 2 Power 5 conference schools, but in the bottom half of those 2 conferences.
Right.
And talked about he
talked about Josh Allen's comps too.
Josh Allen as well. He basically compared Will Levis to Eli Manning and Phillip Rivers. And if you don't know anything about those two guys are going to be first ballot Hall of Famers. So are we just Do we have no idea what we're talking about? Because I'll tell you this much. As soon as I heard Colin talking about, Colin was on my flight back from Florida, by the way.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it was great.
Did you bother him?
No, I didn't bother him.
I would have.
No. Too. Well, you're Braylon Edwards. I wouldn't
have been approaching for Braylon Edwards. I'd be like, hey, look, man, so let me ask you about
either way, but I think it was a really, really well thought out, interesting take.
He describes him as a very cerebral kid. Parents from the Ivy League, grandparents from the Ivy
love
League.
Him then.
I'm just saying.
The
kid. He said the kid's got the smarts. He's got. I think he described it as he's got a hose for an arm, and he has been dissed his entire college career. He's got all of those things going for him. Watch out for a kid like Will Levis. He is the package. He has it. And he described them like Josh Allen. And then you guys said it. You said it, Ryan. Eli Manning and Phillip Rivers light. But there he is. He's right there for you, Bray. I know you love him.
Man, Phillip Rivers won the ACC and won 11-2 in 2003. Eli Manning did the same thing at Ole Miss in 2003 as well. They were same draft class. Those guys won at college. Eli Manning won 11-3 in the freaking SEC at Ole Miss. So they've won at that level. They won in college. You know what you were kind of getting out of them. When you started reading that, Ryan, about Will Levis, his write-up, it started off with an excuse. Like, it started off with a disclaimer. Like, I hate the fact that this guy Will Levis comes up, and every time you bring him up, not you, the proverbial you, we bring him up or analysts talk about him, it's always starting with excuses. It's always like, well, yeah, he didn't have this, and, well, you know, you can't look at the completion percentage, and, well, you know, he's going to figure it out. Who says who? Says who that he will figure it out at the NFL at the next level if he couldn't figure it out in college. Now, I'm not saying he won't be a good quarterback, and I'm not wanting him to be a bad quarterback, but I'm saying if I'm drafting, if I'm a franchise, I'm looking at it, I'm assessing. I'm not taking this guy that every time I hear anything about him, it starts off with a disclaimer. Well, can't really do this, or, well, he really didn't have that, but he does have the big arm, and he has the potential. It's an annoying conversation, and I think it's just like wanting to replace Patrick Mahomes as the best quarterback in the NFL. Every year, it's the new thing. It's the new person. It's the new quarterback. Oh, this guy is going to be it. This guy is going to be that. At the end of the day, you don't have to find a new guy every year. Sometimes they're just not there, and I don't think he's one of those guys.
Well, I don't think anyone's comparing him to Patrick Mahomes.
Well, I'm just saying like that.
That would be an insult.
It's always, no, I'm just saying always a new thing. It's like, oh, yeah, it's this guy, it's that. I mean, like that.
I watched Will Levis play a couple of games this year, like 2, and he was.
Did you watch that South Carolina game?
Really bad. And even as I was watching, one of the reasons I was watching these games, a random Kentucky game, is because you hear about, oh, Will Levis is going to be a top 5 pick, high first round, one of the quarterbacks, one of the elite quarterbacks there. And you're watching this thing, and you're like, what is the disconnect? What am I not seeing that these other people apparently are seeing? I never in a million years would touch Will Levis with a 10-foot pole. This is where we are right now in the season on the calendar. We are at the point in the calendar where there's no more games to be played. We just talk ourselves into these players. Look what we've done with Anthony Richardson. To a point where I am sitting here ready to say I would absolutely take Will Levis at 6.
Me too.
I would absolutely take Will Levis at 6.
This is deja vu.
If he's there.
This is deja vu.
Yep.
This is you guys last year.
That's because we're desperate.
No. We're not desperate as Detroit Lions fans.
No, we are. Me and Ryan.
Oh, you two. Yeah, you two guys definitely are desperate.
I think Will Levis and Anthony Richardson are way more thought of than Malik Willis ever was.
Understood, but
he was a project.
Understood, but I'm saying you let the media force you into a thought process. You let it force you to be like, oh, you know what, this Will Levis is going to be good. Every time we talked about Will Levis last year, we were like, oh, he's bad. He's playing bad. You remember that South Carolina game where he and Spencer Rattler? The Florida game. It was the worst thing I ever saw. Anthony Richardson versus Will Levis. I think Anthony Richardson had 93 yards. Will Levis might have had 140. It was horrible. Why?
I could talk myself into it.
But why? Why do you guys allow yourselves to be talked into positions?
What's the first position that you talk about with football?
Quarterback.
Okay.
What's the first position you talk about in sports?
Quarterback.
And we need one.
Yes.
The Detroit Lions, this city, needs a franchise quarterback. And I'm sorry, I love Jared Goff. He's going to win a division. He's going to win a playoff game. You're going to compete for a Super Bowl with Jared Goff. But that is with Jared Goff on the current contract that he is on. That is with the Detroit Lions not having a player on their roster over the age of 29 years old.
Well said.
At some point, all of those players under the age of 29 are going to want to get paid. You cannot pay those players under the age of 29 on your roster and Jared Goff. It cannot happen. So you need a quarterback. You need a quarterback to pay, whether it be next year, to play for you next year, whether you want to cut Goff after this year or cut him after 24. Jared Goff is your quarterback for definitely next season and probably even 2 seasons from now. After that, you're going to have to let him go. You cannot re-sign Jared Goff. Period. End of story.
But I'm not drafting a guy at number 6 overall that I don't even think he might be better than the quarterback that I have.
Why are the other teams taking him?
If that's the case, then no.
I wouldn't do that either.
But that's what I'm telling you. That's how I feel.
But why are the other teams going to take him?
You said what? Did you? The first thing he said was like, not every team was high on Will Levis. That's the first thing he said when he was reading that bio. If I'm looking at Jared Goff and I'm looking at Will Levis and I'm like, oh, I'm going to convince myself to draft Will Levis. What about Will Levis is better than who Jared Goff is? Like, I give you an example. With the Chiefs, they drafted Patrick Mahomes 13 overall after having a losing season or a losing career at Texas Tech. When they watched film, they knew Patrick Mahomes was going to be better than Alex Smith. So if I'm drafting a quarterback, I'm going to draft a quarterback that is going to be better than the quarterback that I have. Will Levis, I don't think he's going to be better than Jared Goff.
One, that's the only reason that's one of the reasons you would do it. I don't think you do it if you don't think you're going to get that same play. But even if you get equal play, if cheaper. You could do it for $45 million cheaper, you do it. We're going to continue on this. I want to ask you what's going on Combine Week. What are these players going through now? You're the only one that's been through that up here anyway. Have you ever been through Combine Week, Maz?
No, but I've been in my underwear.
Oh, God. We'll get Braylon's take. What is happening now at the NFL Combine? Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment on your dream home up to $200,000. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. You could walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goff, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
I'm Dr. Jason Olafson, DC, the founder of the Custom Health Centers, and we've helped thousands of people learn how easy it is to lose weight and keep it off with our customized weight loss and body contouring programs.
With Custom Health, you don't feel hungry, you eat well. My name is Simeon Timbuk, and I've lost 71 pounds on the program.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
So we're sitting here. I'll get to Braylon in the Combine in just one second. We'll sit here, and Fletch is giving us all kinds of grief about picking Will Levis and all this stuff, and I'm high on Anthony Richardson, and now I'm talking myself into Will Levis, and Fletch is like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing this to yourself?" And Maz, you pulled out the line of all lines here.
Say it.
I just want my quarterback, and I want him at 6. I don't give a damn what quarterback is there. Just say his name and hand the card to Numbnuts, your commissioner. That's it.
There are 6 players in this draft. I want one of them. Are you ready for this? Jalen Carter, Will Anderson Jr.
I'm with you so far.
Bryce Young.
Yes.
C.J. Stroud.
Yes.
Will Levis.
Yes.
Anthony Richardson.
Yes, that's it. Give me one of them.
You have the 6th pick in the draft.
Give me one.
I want one of those 6 players.
Me too.
That's
perfect.
That is where that is my starting point with the 2023 NFL draft. You have the 6th pick in the draft. There are one of 6 players.
Let's go over those guys again.
Jalen Carter, Will Anderson, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Will Levis, Anthony Richardson.
Give me one of them, and I'm happy.
That is my starting point for the 2023
then
NFL draft.
Then whatever the hell you want.
Do whatever you want after that.
Do whatever you want.
If you want to take a quarterback at 18 instead of Bijan Robinson, you want to suck, fine.
You want to trade it for Jalen Ramsey? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Just give me my guy.
Please.
One of those 6.
One of those.
What's wrong with that, Braylon? We're giving you a choice of 6. Take one.
I'm cool. I mean, minus 2 guys in there. I mean, I understand it, though. I understand the logic.
2 guys.
I mean, minus Levis and Richardson. I'm cool.
Braylon, as a wide receiver, you would get to Indianapolis today. Registration, orientation, team interviews. Day 1 for wide receivers is today. Talk me through what these players are going through at the NFL Combine in Indianapolis right now. What did you do in the weeks leading up to the Combine, and now that you're there, what's happening?
It was a very interesting, kind of nerve-wracking time. I trained for the Combine in Denver. So I started training as soon as the Rose Bowl was over, January 1st. I was in Denver probably January 7th, training, getting after it. And, you know, it's interesting because for some guys, they're going into the process knowing they're going in the first round, or knowing that it's theirs to mess up, but they've done enough already. They're gonna go in the first round. These are just the nuanced things. Am I going 20th or 12th? Am I going first or am I going 7th? Like, it's like that. But the guys that get the invite, that maybe those bottom tier guys, maybe even 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round, I don't know. Those guys legitimately have a chance to change their life over the process of 3 days. I remember just watching guys, everybody's nervous. Like, Ryan, you could just see guys like walking in the hallway. Guys are just to themselves, thinking, probably overthinking it. It's a very interesting space because in the span of 3 days, you could potentially mess up. I've seen guys not perform it like they could because they were nervous. They didn't jump inside. They had a bad start in the 40, or they were bad during drills because they were nervous. Or you see some guys just rise to the occasion and just take off at the combine, kind of like Donovan Peoples-Jones did from Michigan 3-4 years ago. So it's a crazy space, man. I remember going into it, I was the number 4 player on Mel Kiper's big board, I think. Most mock drafts had me in like 4. My agent was like, "You're not gonna run. So you're the number 1 wide receiver. It's only you, Mike Williams, and Mark Clayton. You're not gonna run." And then I had an ingrown toenail, TMI.
Ouch! That hurts.
I had literally went to a doctor, got it pulled 2 days before I went to Indy. So foot was hurting. I couldn't run. Got on the phone with my agent. He was like, "Yo, glad your foot was messed up. So don't run. We'll wait and save it." You get it's competition. So once you get around all that competition, all that energy, my foot was messed up. I still almost snuck and ran the 40. And when I went out with my wide receiver group, my agent called my phone and was like, "Get your ass out of line." So, but it's an interesting process because it's go ahead.
I was going to ask you, so there's 3 days of team interviews. There's team interviews today, team interviews tomorrow, and team interviews on Friday.
There's impromptu and then there's booked.
Yeah, how many booked interviews are there per like, are all 30 teams? If all 30 teams want to talk to you, like, how long do these interviews last? What do they ask you in these interviews?
If I'm being honest, this is an arrogant answer, like Deion said, if you ain't picking by 7, I wasn't talking to you. So the scheduled interviews are 20 minutes long. The whole team is in there, coaches, the whole coaching staff, and they basically see where you're at. They see where your knowledge is. They see, are you a leader? They see, do you know the game? Can you talk it, or do you just play it? The impromptu meetings are the best ones, though. That's when you're in a train station, you're kind of in between sessions or working out, whatever, and coaches can just pull you over to the side to the table. I talked to Todd Haley. And this is when Todd Haley.
This is the guy that dissed you.
Yeah, he's a real piece of work.
Yeah.
Like Todd Haley pulled me to. This is when he was at Dallas Cowboys. He pulled me to the side, and we're having conversations. He said, "Hey, Braylon, sit down, listen." So he's like, "Yeah, man." He starts off by saying, your routes aren't as clean as they could be, and I just think sometimes in game situations you kind of look like you were lost a little bit and blah blah blah. I was like, hold on. Who you with? He said Dallas Cowboys. I was like, when do y'all pick? He said 11. I was like, cool, nice meeting you. And I walked up out of that meeting.
Get out of here.
Yeah, like hell no. Like, you're not gonna just start dissing me, and you don't even pick nowhere near where I'm about to go. So it's a fun process, and
that's so great.
All right, 100%. Dog. I'm glad I did go before 11 because I would look
just like Aaron Rodgers said he was going to be number 1. He knew.
He told me that, and then he went 24. But he definitely made up for it.
Oh my gosh,
he definitely made up for it.
Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, speaking of Aaron Rodgers, he says he has not decided whether or not he's going to come back to the NFL, or there's one of 3 choices, right? Come back, play for the Packers, request a trade, or retire. It's one of 3 things, and I don't know why it feels like he.
All R's, by the way. Retire, request, return.
Yeah, right. I think he's going to request a trade. I don't think he's going to play for the Packers. I don't think
it's his choice.
I don't think the Packers want him.
I don't think it's his choice.
It is his choice.
He has a no trade clause, so technically it's the Packers' choice.
But he's got a contract.
He doesn't have the no trade clause. I meant.
What do you mean it's not his choice? I don't understand what you.
I think the Packers could deal him.
He doesn't have a no trade clause.
Well, no team is going to make that trade without an assurance that he wants to play. So they're not going to trade him. Because like the Jets, they're going to give Green Bay all this capital and all this stuff, and then he's going to retire on you.
Now you guys see where my thought process was.
I leaned towards you last week.
No, for sure, but Ryan wasn't here. Now you see where my thought process the whole time when you're talking about Aaron Rodgers is going to the New York Jets. And I'm like, exactly what you just said. How do I know, as Woody Johnson, that he'll be committed? How do I know that I'm giving up 2 firsts and all this other stuff, and this guy's going to be in? This guy's going to come in April and work with my young guys. This guy wants to mentor. They got a lot of young guys with the Jets. That's why I always said he's coming back to Green Bay. He's not going anywhere else. He's not. Because even Green Bay is like, we don't want you.
I think
but you still give us the best odds.
They're the favorite.
You still give us the best chance.
Yeah.
You know what? Hey, let's just stick this thing out for 2 more years and we'll go our separate ways.
I think they give. I almost said Brett Favre. I think Aaron Rodgers gives Green Bay the best path forward by trading him to get good quickly, because they'll save all that money on what do they owe him, $116 million over the next 2 years. They'll save that money. They will get acquired draft picks from whatever team they get. I think Green Bay is desperate to get rid of. They know they can't win a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers.
They can.
I think I think Green Bay is in a tough spot, because when the Green Bay front office is having these conversations, when they're throwing darts at the board and trying to figure things out, they're like, if we get rid of him, we just talked about how fickle the NFC is right now. Like, it's open game. It's open season in the NFC. You could win right now in the NFC. You saw they won, 6 of 7 at the end of last season. You got some young guys that now have some experience. It's wide open. So if you're Green Bay, you're like, I hate him, but it's wide open, and we got a 2-year window. This could work. But on the other side, you're also like, he's been holding us up. We don't know the commitment level. We saw what happened last year. Had his first human season, if you will. If you're Green Bay, this has got to be like the hardest choice you've ever had to do.
Jordan Love could still be a good quarterback. We don't know. And I know you're saying they wouldn't have signed Aaron Rodgers if he was good, but I disagree there, because he's still Aaron Rodgers. If you're going to be this close to the Super Bowl, you want one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever suit up to be on your team. Yeah, he hasn't won the playoffs like these other great quarterbacks, but the guy is a 2-time MVP.
I'm agreeing with you, man.
I'm just saying, Jordan Love could still be the goods.
I just don't think if you've had this guy on your team for the better part of 2 years now, 3 years walking to the Aaron Rodgers deal, you don't make a 38-year-old quarterback the highest paid quarterback in NFL history if you have any inkling that the dude you drafted 2 years is going to be decent.
But why does he even
just
have
don't.
to be? Can't he suck too? And then you draft your quarterback next year. Get rid of Aaron Rodgers, take the draft picks, take the money. Jordan Love sucks. Draft a quarterback next year. I mean, it's really Jordan Love doesn't have to be their quarterback.
No,
but if you make a mistake and win the Super Bowl like this year with that Green Bay team, you're gonna make a mistake and win the Super Bowl with Jordan Love.
Yeah, I mean, Green Bay can't win a playoff game with Aaron Rodgers. So I mean, it's not like they were 13-3 for 3 years in a row.
Yeah, I know. They didn't finish.
They at home.
Finish.
So
they didn't finish,
and they're worse now than they were over those 3 years.
That's a fact.
So
that's because Devontae Adams isn't there.
Well, that's one of the reasons.
They do have 11 draft picks. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, and maybe they need 2 more. Take a break. Chili Peppers tanning. What a crappy night for Detroit teams last night. I want to talk about that. But first, Chili Peppers tanning.
Yes, sir. And if you join the Chili Pepper Club, they're going to beat all competitors by $5 on unlimited tanning. Plus, you get the cleanest salons in the D. No excuse. You can find the Chili Peppers tanning near you. 27 locations in the metro Detroit area, 2 right here on Woodward Avenue. The hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans. It's your vitamin D headquarters, chilipepperstanning.com.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Get a shot up. This is for the win.
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Citron World is an aspirational lifestyle beverage brand with a line of sparkling flavor energy beverages and premium bottled water. Citron is fashionable, it's functional, and it's fun. They've partnered up with Woodward Sports to re-energize the community along with the Detroit Red Wings and Detroit Pistons, everything LCA. So why don't you let them do it? Drink it, live it. Citron.
Braylon, yesterday we talked a little bit about college basketball. I'm just seeing this. Well, exactly. I'm seeing this. Maz prints out these stories for me and about the predictions for conference tournaments and this, that, and the other thing. I couldn't care less about college basketball.
Who's number 1? Xavier? I'm joking, by the way, ladies. Exactly. I was joking.
That's a waste of paper what you just did there.
I read it already.
It was a waste of being printed. Got him.
I got extra backups in the back for you. I got extra backups for you.
Very good. All right, Maz. Let me have it. Little college basketball talk, but in a good way.
In a good way, guys. Listen. Detroit Mercy. They didn't have a great year this year. They're in the Horizon League. They're struggling.
One player did.
One player did. His name is Antoine Davis. His dad, Mike Davis, of course, the head coach there for
UDM.
For UDM, of course, the Titans. Tonight, they are opening the Horizon League tournament at home against Purdue, Fort Wayne. It's at Callahan. The reason I'm telling you this is Antoine Davis is on the precipice of possibly breaking the great Pistol Pete Maravich's all-time NCAA scoring record of, 3,667 points Pistol Pete did without a three-point line.
Yep, there it is.
Less games, and he didn't play his freshman year because you weren't allowed as a freshman to play on varsity. You believe that? So he only played sophomore, junior, and senior year, and he racked up almost 3,700 points. Antoine is 63 points shy of that record. This is his 5th year playing because of COVID. It's still a phenomenal opportunity to go and watch this kid play. I don't know if you guys ever went to Callahan. Callahan, it's a great place. Dickie V has got his name on the court. Obviously, he used to coach UDM and the Pistons. If you get a chance, you might want to go down and see these guys play. It's his last home game It's win or you're done. If you do win, they'll advance. You play at Northern Kentucky. That's where Oakland is. Oakland, I think, are they a 3 or a 4 seed? What did Neil tell us? Oakland. They're one of the top seeds, so they have a
no
bye.
idea. I can't tell you.
They're in the quarterfinals. So UDM playing Purdue-Fort Wayne tonight. Antoine Davis, 63 points shy of breaking the great Pete Maravich's all-time scoring record. Bray.
I definitely know about Callahan Hall. Went to Jesu Academy, which is directly across the street on 6 Mile in Livernois. My cousin by marriage is Rashad Phillips. I love Callahan Hall. I spent a lot of time there running in the upstairs in the what was it called, the boiler room. So love Callahan Hall. You're right. It does have that intimate atmosphere, especially high school games. But UD has had a great line of scorers. Rashad Phillips is a great scorer. Jermaine Jackson was a great scorer. Moneyball, Desmond Ferguson was a great scorer. And now Antoine Davis just following in suit, and he's the next one. It's an amazing feat. But when you start off by saying Pistol Pete didn't play as a freshman, only played 2 years, didn't have a three-point line, like that stuff is amazing.
The greatest ball handler in basketball history.
Oh man, 100%.
Bar none.
Like next to Kyrie, he's definitely right there. Like Pistol Pete was freaking insane.
I wish UDM got more play.
Me
man.
too. I wish we covered them.
They
more.
used to be good. Remember they beat UCLA? They beat Michigan at 1 year. Yeah, 98. Yeah, that the Fab 5-2 team. Tractor trailer motel.
It's sad.
Travis Conlon.
I don't like to see schools like that toiling. Getting 500 kids to go to your game.
You get 3,000 people a night at Oakland.
I know.
I mean,
maybe they need the upgrade from Callahan. I don't know. Maybe something's got to happen. But this kid, he scored almost 3,700 points. That's a hell of a feat, man.
That's a lot of freaking points, man. Yeah. That definitely is a lot of freaking points. It makes it easier when your dad's the coach. But
if they do lose tonight, and hopefully they won't, they'll be eliminated from the Horizon Championship. But they might have an opportunity to make one of the postseason tournaments, so he still might have a chance.
So he basically has to score 63 tonight, almost.
Or they play again.
Or get lucky
again.
Right.
You know
They
what I
can
mean?
play again.
In like the CPI tournament.
No. If they win tonight, they advance.
Well, if they win tonight, they advance. Yeah.
Where's the CPI tournament at?
Remember, it's like I don't.
Bay City.
It's like a coaches tournament.
Okay, I got you.
Crappy night last night. Wings lost. Pistons lost. Tigers lost.
Wings came
Nothing
off
to see.
Wings came off the Rangers and the Lightning, and they got to play the Senators. So they got whitewashed 6-2 last night. Guess what? They get to do it again tonight in the same barn.
It's a must-win.
They're in Ottawa again.
Yeah, it's a must-win. They have to win tonight.
I don't know about must-win.
They have to win tonight.
Yeah, it would be. They will win tonight. Matter of fact, I'm going online right now, and I'm going to bet my winnings from the other day from the Michigan game. I'm putting it on the Red Wings tonight.
They have to win tonight. They are 3 points out of a wild card spot right now. 3 points, and they don't have any games in. Well, I guess think about 4 games in hand with the Islanders. With the Islanders, but they're 5 points back of the Islanders.
Okay.
So, man, it's tough. Trade deadline on Thursday, I believe.
Sounds about right.
Rangers
got better today. Rangers got Patrick Kane for the Blackhawks. Remember my Stanley Cup pick was the Rangers and the Oilers. I'm saying, watch out for the Rangers, man.
Saw something on Friday or Saturday. I can't remember which day it was. It said wherever Patrick Kane goes, they are instantly the odds-on favorite to win it all. And he happens to go to a team that was the second best team in the regular season last year.
Yep.
New York Rangers.
Look at that. All right, again, good show today. Maz, great job. JB, Fletch, Braylon, love you guys. Bray, get us out of here.
Hey, man, glad to be back. Glad the gang's all here. It's been a minute since we've been together. Yo, exciting week. I got something special for you guys this Thursday.
Ooh.
Don't worry about that. I got something special for you, but it's going to be a good week. JB, great job by you. Maz, love you as always. Fletch, I see you killing it over there. My brother from another mother. Glad you're back and you have fun in Florida. See you guys later.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.